identifying discrepancies, deficiencies in patients.
But I'm not a big fan of cookie cutter. If you call up and um, make an appointment and it's like, okay, you go into this machine and everyone gets the same thing, I'm not a big fan of that. Um, because everyone is different and every traumatic brain injury is different. And there's a famous expression in our field: if you treated one traumatic brain injury, you've treated one traumatic brain injury. It's not like they're all the same. So the theme there is identify if you are going to be in the proactive. You look for them. Don't wait for the person to make the complaint. And again, that's my gestalt. People can agree with it or not agree with it. And then the other is the how do I. The how do I is um, usually an hour and a half or more exam. And I did say usually. The exception is if the injury is one of my athletes, that is a University of Cincinnati student athlete, and then they're going to be seen by me 2 hours of their injury. That's my agreement with the university, and regularly, either by myself or someone else, um, almost daily, 5 or 6 days a week. And what I'm doing is I'm actually doing bits and pieces of my neuro exam each individual time spread out.
Mhm.
And there's a very important reason for it. My hour and a half exam wipes people out. They, even healthy people, it's a challenge. And imagine a brain injured person. I'll tell people, okay, here's your time. Do not expect to do anything. And I mean, I have the consistent, excuse me, um, monologue. Here's your time. It's an hour and a half. I don't want you driving home. I don't care about anything else. You can drive, but not home from this exam. Um, don't plan on doing anything later that day, and don't be surprised if you feel very poorly the next day. I've also said, and I say this, I also will on occasion say, you can't leave till I check you in a little while. So in other words, I want to make sure that something else doesn't bubble up
Mm.
for some reason. And say, okay, here's a hat, here's some sunglasses. You're gonna go sit and wait for a little bit, and I'll check on you in a little bit because I want to see if what I've done. So that's identifying the deficiencies. And there's a reason I go through that, and it's not to be mean. It's because a lot of people, especially smart people whose brain is able to adapt and adjust, they have so many adaptational strategies that if you do one thing or you don't do it long enough, you won't see what
Mm.
happens. And so you have to actually challenge, and I hate to say it this way, but to the point of failure.
Well, that makes sense. And especially when you're dealing with post-concussion syndrome,
Right.
where, it seems like the people who continually seek more treatment and are trying to recover like aggressively, they were high producing, highly intelligent people. And they miss that edge. They miss that ability that they used to have. So yeah, that
Right.
person, they're gonna have all sorts of coping strategies because they are high producing, they are highly productive.
Correct. And then sometimes I'm the one that has to identify those coping strategies as not right. And then they've been manifest as wiring. And we have to dewire, shift the strategy, and rewire again.
Hmm.
And that takes time. And I mean, I talk at length with the guys at the plasticity because that's what they do. And that's what we try to do when we identify it. But that's it. Identify it first. Don't do the cookie
Right.
cutter. Well, and the
Let's.
duration is important. I've actually had exams where the first hour goes fine, then I can start to see the person. They've used up all of their reserve, but I need
Hmm.
to see what fails and how it fails.